Question that we get asked. Number one is, where is Keele? That's always a big one. And then number two is, do you have any scholarships? And luckily, I can say, yes, we do.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Study Abroad podcast. I'm thrilled to have a special guest with us today. We have got Alice Atkey, an all around wonderful individual from Keele University. He's here to share some hidden gems and exciting opportunities that make Keele truly stand out. Now, let's dive right in and welcome Alice to the show.
Hi,
Alice.
Nafis. I'm doing well, thank you. Thank you so much for having me on the podcast. To introduce myself again, my name's Alice, and hello to all the listeners and the watchers. I work at Keele University, and I work as a postgraduate student recruitment officer in the international side, and I look after Bangladesh, Nepal, and Sri Lanka.
It's truly a pleasure to have you here. I'm certain this podcast will offer invaluable insights, particularly for the students who are contemplating Keele University as their academic destination. I think your perspective will undoubtedly help clear up any confusion they may have. So, to begin with, I just want to mention the 75th anniversary of Keele University. It has been an incredible journey for Keele. The rich tapestry of history has really contributed to the individuals' lives and shaped their future. Over the years, the research opportunities and facilities at Keele have increased incredibly, surpassing many universities in the UK in a short span of time. So, according to you, what has really changed Keele's commitment over the
I
years?
think that's a really good question. And yes, so 75, 25th birthday is actually really exciting. We're really excited here over at Keele. So I think in terms of what's changed and what's developed over the years has definitely been the campus and the facilities. So you'll see a real mix of sort of old architecture and the older buildings all the way up to the sort of new modern buildings that we're having built here on campus. We've had one recently open, so there's constant development on campus, and hopefully throughout this podcast I will be able to demonstrate how important our campus is to us. It's a huge part of Keele and what we do and the facilities that we have. So I would say that the growing the campus and making that such a huge part of us has been a really great thing to see for the university over the 75 years. I still think we're very similar in terms of making sure that research is important and that teaching excellence level as well. So recently we've been awarded TEF Gold, so that's for high quality teaching and education, which we're really, really proud of and really happy about. And so, yeah, that's a huge part. So it's both research and teaching here at Keele, and I think that always reflects really strongly throughout the university. And hopefully, students will get to experience that as well when they're here.
Want to mention that despite it's relatively a short journey compared to the other universities in the UK, as you have eloquently explained, Keele really has made significant improvement in various areas, particularly in the terms of education offerings and research opportunities. Since we all know Keele University offers a range of programs that integrate leadership and continuing professional development across diverse subject areas, why is it necessary for students to gain CPD compliant programs and leadership infused courses?
I mean, I think from what we see across the board in terms of after students graduate and sort of the job market in general, a lot of these skills that students need are taught here at Keele. So, like you said, the leadership skills, but also things like writing and research, analytic skills. A lot of our courses, you'll notice that sort of that ability to analyze data or be able to sort of give sort of analytical perspective on certain situations is huge throughout the courses that we offer here. So I think that's sort of why a lot of our courses have that. They're preparing students so they can go on and graduate into their job, and then they can use those skills really, really well. I think it's a good time here to mention actually our employability rate here at Keele is really high. So it's about 96%. Um, at the moment. So that's really, really great. I think a big question lots of students ask is, will I get a job after I graduate? And
Yeah.
I think that's always the burning question. And we totally understand that that is, a lot of the motivation for students to study at university nowadays. And I guess if you come to Keele, we can say that you're highly likely to find a job after. Graduating here, so yeah, having, I think, that leadership aspect and some of those other skills that needed in employment, sorry, definitely sort of helps motivate students to come here at Keele. So yeah.
I was just going through the statistics
Hmm.
published by HISA. Yeah, so what I found is that Keele is among the top 20 universities for employability. Keele graduates work in prestigious organizations like Google, Rolls Royce, the BBC, and the NHS. Keele seems to push their students to pursue careers in competitive fields. What kind of grooming sessions does Keele University provides to its
Yeah, yeah, you're
students?
absolutely right. So our careers and employability team spend a lot of time helping students, giving them support in terms of from almost like the basics and making a CV. It can look a little bit different from maybe what you're used to in your home country, and so it's quite nice to kind of have that guidance, even just from the basics of applying, making that application, all the way through to practice interviews, helping with some aptitude tests. So sorry, I couldn't say that very well. So helping with aptitude tests. So these are sometimes it's part of the graduate roles. So again, students might be interested in going into a graduate scheme after they've finished here at Keele, and we have an online job board where students can kind of look through and find a job that matches to what they sort of their career aspirations afterwards. And so yeah, we offer that as well. The job board also will have part-time roles for those students that do want to find a role to sort of supplement their studying as well, which is really good. So yeah, really great team. And then there's placement officers, typically in most schools across the university, there to help students at the undergrad level who want to pursue a placement year, which is normally between the second and final year. Students can take a year out, and I think a lot of students really want to have that experience. It supplements, it adds to what they're studying in university, and then when they graduate, they can say, look, I have this amazing work experience in my placement year, and then they can go on and use those skills as well. So again, I think that works in turn quite well with that graduate employability rate as well, the experience the students are getting here on campus, which is really nice.
Think students get that kind of shelter to expose themselves to the corporate world. Employers especially seek those CPD infused and leadership infused courses in their workplaces. The courses that is particularly tailored offered by the Keele University will help them to get into the job and
Mm,
particularly the career and counseling center. They're grooming the students to get into the job field is absolutely a life-saving
mhm,
opportunity for the students, and I completely appreciate that. So now, if we just get our conversation into the research opportunities for the postgrad
mhm,
and doctoral students, I want to learn about the research opportunities and the areas for research at Keele. Again, if we talk about the grooming of the masters
mhm.
and the PhD students, where they need to approach their supervisor, to some extent, this requires mentoring of those students. Where do they find information about reaching their supervisors on Keele University's website?
Okay, so for any students listening or watching that are interested in doing or pursuing a PhD or a master's in philosophy, which would be an MPhil, so a research based course, I would first direct the student to our website. Our website will be linked on the screen somewhere, hopefully. Students can go directly to there. That's the best place to start. It's going to have a full list of all the research opportunities that we offer here at Keele, and have a little look through and see whether there's an area that matches sort of within the sphere of your research interests. You find a course that you like, it matches you really, really well. The next thing you want to do is you want to contact members of staff within the school to see if there's somebody that would be able to supervise you, who'd be able to sort of support within that research area as well. So On the website again, there's the schools. All the schools will have a full list of staff that are available. So have a little look at the staff areas of research. Click in, they'll provide their email addresses. You can get in contact with them directly, and you can ask them and sort of give them background about your area of research, what you're interested in, and then they'll come back to you and see whether it's something that you can kind of work on together. If you're unsure about a member of staff, whether it matches perfectly well, sometimes it's not always that obvious. You can contact sort of the general school email address that's normally provided on the course pages specifically. So if you want a more sort of general conversation first, I would go for those emails on there. So yeah, as part of the application, students will need to provide a research proposal. So I'd say that having at least a draft or some bullet points at least is a good place to start in terms of when you reach out. I think that's a big thing, but it is something that we will need as part of the application. So I'd say try and think about that and get that started sooner rather than later.
When they embark themselves into the research opportunities like this in the Keele University, I'm sure they need certain sorts of mentoring, and they need some sort of grooming. How do they reach their supervisors? Because you see, managing the funding and managing the right topic for them
Mhm.
is very crucial for their academic journey. So I think they need to have the proper guidance to get started into this kind of field. So, Alice, I just want to learn about the open day at Keele University. Like,
So we have two different types of open days here at Keele. So we have those that are available for our undergraduate students. So it's mostly directed to undergrads, and so you'll get course information specific to your bachelor's degrees and things like that. These are typically in person. So at the moment, there's not any sort of addition for a virtual event within the undergraduate one. These are on weekends, sometimes on a Friday as well. And so a lot of students from who are based in the UK will come onto campus, come and experience what our campus is like. They normally have a great time because, like I said before, campus is great. It's a really, really fantastic part about Keele, I have to say. So yeah, that's the sort of open day setup that we have. These are typically kind of spread across the year. So we've got ones in June, and we have some in October and November as well. So if you guys on the screen, you'll see a link to look at the dates that we do have available for undergraduates, and then also there's a web page there too to take you through. So anybody who is based in the please sign up to the
that's perfect.
open day through the link of registration on there. And if you are available to come and hop on over to Keele and have a little tour around, that would be really, really great. A postgraduate perspective, we have a virtual element that is included as well as an in person element. So these are typically split either virtual in the morning and then in person in the afternoon. And you'll have a range of opportunities to talk to some academics and then also some professional service staff. So maybe you want to find out little bit about funding or finance, accommodation. They'll be there to speak to. You can log in. We do it all through Teams virtually. So again, it's really easy for international students across the world. You can join on in.
Like that, I was also
Mhm,
checking the campus on the Google map. The campus offers a very
mhm,
pristine and tranquil
mhm,
atmosphere, which is spanning over 600 acres of land. This serene environment provides an
mhm,
ideal
mhm.
setting for the students to
Yeah,
focus on their studies and arrange in
mhm,
various
absolutely.
extracurricular activities. We also encounter a lot of questions that students inquire about the part-time job opportunities, which often revolve around the local or city centers. Regarding the distance to the city center from the campus, could you please specify?
So we have a bus service that runs through the full length of the campus. It actually starts in the village called Keele, which is who we're named after, and then it will run through the campus, stopping at sort of all the major points that you get on the campus, the accommodation, the central area, and then it will take you to Newcastle under Lyme, and that is our local town. So the town is where you'll probably find a part-time job if that's what you're looking for. You're also going to find your local supermarkets, shops, and bakeries and things like that. So you can get all your groceries and things there. The bus will then also take you through to the train station. So the train station is really well connected. Students can get to Manchester, to Birmingham, and to London really easily from Stoke train station. And then the bus will also take you through to Hanley, which is the sort of city part of Stoke-on-Trent. And then again, more opportunities for job or employment there. They've got some bigger businesses, but also retail shops, supermarkets again. So students have like a range of options in terms of looking for that part-time role. Again, also some students will live off campus. We do have lots of accommodation on campus, so I think it's about 2,700 to 800 campus based accommodation, so rooms that are available. Some students will want to stay on campus, some might want to live off campus and commute in. Again, that bus is really, really easy to take to come onto campus, so pretty well connected. It's about 15 minutes to Newcastle on the bus. There's not really any traffic. I know some listeners will be living in places where traffic is a constant. That doesn't seem to happen as much here at Keele. So it should be about 15 minutes there, and then also you've got the travel back to Stoke will be about 40 to 50 minutes. So really, really easy. It's not a huge commute if you are going for a job, for example. So
And I also wanted to add that I was checking on the website that Keele University offers the guaranteed accommodation on the first year of a student. So anyone trying to live within the campus accommodation, they do really have that opportunity to come and stay in campus, or they want to stay off campus. It's also readily available to
Just a
stay.
note there, actually. So, for guaranteed accommodation for first years and particularly some international students as well, there is a deadline that you would need to apply by. We're going to pop the deadline on the screen there. It's typically the end of June is that deadline, but I'll put the exact date up here on the screen for you guys now.
Let's just delve into the
Mhm.
popular programs of Keele University. Since you have been dealing with international students for quite some time, can you share some of the popular programs among international students at
Absolutely.
Keele?
Okay, so popular courses for our international students. So we do actually have quite a lot of courses available here at Keele, and they do fit really well with sort of the needs and the wants of I think not just international students, but even just students in general, even from the UK. So I would say in terms of our international students, they love our business school. So we have the Keele Business School, and that has a huge range of options there. At a postgraduate level, I'm going to talk about first. So the postgraduate, we do some finance-based courses, so accounting and financial management, investment management, banking and finance. But then we've also got some really, I think, hot courses, I would like to call them. So things like international business, management. These are some areas that we notice a lot of international students are really interested in. They're sort of gaining that global perspective on business. I think it's really sought after by a lot of employers nowadays. I think the added draw again with the business school is they also have really high employability rates too, and they're really dedicated to making sure that students are getting the skills needed for that employment once they graduate. So again, really popular area that we notice here at Keele. We have some computing courses too. Again, I think this is an area that's growing a lot globally, and even within that, we've got a range of courses. So we have our computer science course, and that's sort of more of a conversion based course. And then we have advanced computer science for those that have studied previously. Cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, and data science are some of these sort of big buzzwords that we're seeing um, across that industry. Again, is attracting a lot of international students, something they can take abroad, they can use at home. I think that's sort of what motivates a lot of students to choose these courses is that actually it's a real global sort of course that you can use everywhere. We have other great courses available, so nursing, we have biomedical sciences, which are also popular areas with us. We've got law courses as well. So again, I think there's quite a lot of students who are looking for law courses as well. So these are some popular areas. We also have some really niche areas. We are a sort of health-based medicine science university, and so we have some really great courses that are quite niche. So we have prosthetics and orthotics at master's levels, and that's a January course, and then also a really popular physiotherapy course as well. Um, so yes, I'm going to put a link onto the website to the postgrad pages specifically, and also to the undergraduate, which I'll talk a little bit about now. I think the highlight point for our undergraduate courses, which people will notice hopefully looking through our website, is the combination offers that we have. So we do have a lot of and with courses, so students can study two subjects at the same time. Maybe they're undecided, they like both business and they also like marketing. They can't quite decide whether they want to just do a full marketing or a full business management. Then they can do that together. So that's quite a nice opportunity for them. Again, business courses are popular,
Right.
computing courses, lots of variations within that. Nursing, too, a really popular area. Social work as well, and biomedical sciences, chemistry, biology, all big areas for us. So yes, so it's quite a large number of courses, but again, we'll pop the website up on the page for you guys now, so you can go straight to those course lists and you can have a look and see what is available and if there's anything that matches you guys.
So, to address their interest, could you please provide a step by step walkthrough of the entire application process?
I'm going to show some slides for you guys now, which hopefully will help you in terms of getting some information about the application process here at Keele and submitting a top class application for us. So I think the first question to ask is what is a decision ready application? So let's have a look at the documents that you'll need when applying for either an undergraduate course or a postgraduate course here at Keele. So at the undergraduate level, what you'll need is to provide either your foundation, your school, or a bachelor's certificate and transcript. We're going to need an English language certificate, a personal statement, an academic reference, and then also your passport. And for a postgraduate student who wants to apply here at Keele, what we'll need from you is your official degree certificate and transcript, and also an English language certificate, a personal statement, academic or employment reference, and then your passport too. So it's important to note here you'll see a slight difference with the postgraduate in terms of the references. So we know that some students will have graduated recently from their bachelor's and want to go straight into a master's. For students who are doing that, we would say please provide an academic reference. For those that have maybe taken some time out, they've gone into employment, please also provide an employment reference because this also will support your application. We would say if anybody has been out of education for 5 or more years, we won't need an academic reference. In this case, it's better just to provide your employment reference as your offer is going to be based on the employment that you've had over the last 5 or more years. Um, so those are the documents that we need then as part of your application. We do have a lot of students asking questions about certain areas within the application. So these some of these documents. So what I'm going to do is hopefully help you a little bit with a document deep dive, as I like to call it, and focus on two of the areas I think students panic a little bit about. They don't need to, but hopefully this will help and sort of support them a little bit when they're writing them or getting them. So number one, everyone's worst nightmare, I think, sometimes is the personal statement. So I myself do not like writing about my achievements or anything like this, and it can feel quite uncomfortable doing that. But actually, it is really important part of the application process. So why is it important then? It is an opportunity for you to show us why you're interested in studying at Keele and then the course that you've chosen as well. So, thinking about what to include in your personal statement, it's good to think about your background, the reasons you've chosen to apply to Keele, why you've applied for this course specifically. So, you're considering things like the modules as part of it, the course outcomes, and anything like that. how you see this course improving and supporting your career aspirations, and then also details of your plans after you complete your studies. So these are a good sort of points to start thinking about when you're brainstorming. So have a use of this when you start writing out that personal statement. Some common mistakes that we do see when we're reviewing personal statements and when admissions do review them. So make sure that you double check everything in your personal statement. Make sure that you're including the right university and that the courses sort of match well. And everything sort of makes sense. So yeah, I'd recommend that students please double check your personal statement before submitting, as this is something that is, like I said, really important part of the application process. So the next area that I think students find a bit more troublesome are the references. So I think again this is a case of knowing what to include, how they should look like. So that's what I want to talk through a little bit now. So first things would be that the reference must be dated, signed, and on headed paper from either the institution, your school, or your employer. Um, it must include an email address on there, so a contact details of the person who is signing the reference, so your referee. It needs to be dated within the last 6 months, and it will need to be from your most recent institute or employer. We understand that you might not be able to get your current employer, so it can be the most recent as well, so that is also fine. You can find some really useful information on our website. So again, I'm going to pop that onto the screen as well. It should hopefully flash up now. Please go and click through to that. It's got some really helpful content there in terms of what to include. And this is the most up to date information. Um, so again, it's going to give you content suggestions here. These are really, really helpful when you're approaching a referee to say this is the sort of information that we need from you when you're submitting an application. Sometimes the references are too short, they don't show your character. We do need to have some of that information within the reference when you submit it. So hopefully that will help some students who are a little bit nervous about a personal statement, but also slightly unsure about what a reference constitutes. So yeah, hopefully that will help you guys a little bit ease the tensions slightly. Again, all of this is all on the website. We'll pop that on the screen. You'll get lots of website links for you guys today. So yeah.
I just want to come to the main spotlight
Hmm.
of our show, which is the scholarship and bursaries. You know, this is very crucial for students in managing their finances. Since you are here, we want to learn about the scholarship amounts available for both undergraduate and master's level students, as well as details regarding specific deadlines and the application process.
Yes, absolutely. Question that we get asked. Number one is where is Keele? That's always a big one. And then number two is do you have any scholarships? And luckily I can say yes, we do. So this is really, really great. So yes, let's talk a little bit about them.
You're a
Exactly. Everybody
savior.
loves them. So let's have a look at them together. So on the screen you're going to see the postgraduate global scholarship. So as you can see, we've got different value amounts. So we've got £2,000, 3,500, and £6,000. So this is for September 2024 intake. We can say that this is available for. And so it's based on your sort of academic grades from your bachelor's degree. So a £2,000 is going to be a UK equivalent to a 2-2. The 3,500 will be the UK equivalent of a 2-1. And then it would be £6,000 is then the equivalent to the UK first. So our website on our course pages, there's drop-down menus that has specific country entry requirements. You can go on there and you can find out what your entry requirement is for the course, if you're eligible. The admissions team will review your application and will tell you on your unconditional offer whether or not that you are eligible for or what amount you're eligible for. We cannot accept students lower than a 2-2, which is in the UK, or the equivalent in their sort of international qualification. So we'd say that most students are pretty much guaranteed at least £2,000 in scholarship at the postgraduate level. So that is for that. There, of course, there are some exclusions that apply. We're going to pop the website on so you guys can check the sort of T's and C's. Some courses are not eligible for this, so just double check on there. That is the postgraduate one. We also have an MBA one. Again, I'm going to pop the information on the screen for you guys now. So the MBA is available specifically for the MBA course. And we've got a £3,000 tuition fee discount. And then we've also got the £5,000 tuition fee discount. So again, that's based on your grades in your undergraduate. And so if you've got a 2-2, which is the UK in your equivalent in your country, then you can get the 3,000. And it said 2-1 would be the 5,000 and above. So again, all the conversions and stuff you can find on our website. We have international pages. Pop the link on there for you guys, so you can go in, find your country, find what your entry requirements and your conversions are to see whether you're eligible for that scholarship. Moving on to our undergraduate one. So we've got our undergraduate global scholarship. Again, so similar in name to our postgrad, but slightly different in terms of how this works. So for an undergraduate, you can get £5,000 in tuition fee discount in your first year. However, you will need to exceed the entry requirements published on our website. So have a little look at the course that you're interested in, have a look at the entry requirements. If you exceed them, then you would be entitled to that £5,000. If you meet them, and unfortunately, you wouldn't be entitled to it. So, say for example, in the UK, we would ask for 3 Bs for a course. If you have an A and 2 Bs, you would exceed the requirement, therefore, you would be entitled to that scholarship. You can get then up to £2,000 in your second and third years. However, it's dependent on how hard you've worked in your first year and your second year at uni. So, a good little motivation for you guys to work extra hard in those years, because you can get up to £2,000 in that discount in your second and third years. So, again, all the T's and C's, there are some exclusions on there. So, some courses are not eligible. An example would be the medicine course at the undergraduate level. But again, check on the website. The web page should be on the screen for you guys now.
You see, the main idea of the scholarship is to encourage the students to get into their best form and give
Mhm,
their best performance to study in a university at a discounted rate. And of course, it will also help them stop breaking their banks. So yes, thanks to you that you have mentioned all the scholarship and the bursaries opportunities that student might avail depending on their merit. Let's just reflect on this insightful conversation we had about Keele University. With Alice, we have explored its renowned reputation, abundant research opportunities, popular programs, their tuition fees, accommodation and part-time job opportunities, campus experience, and lastly, the available scholarships. This comprehensive discussion serves to provide students with a clear understanding of that Keele University has to offer, making their academic journey smoother and more informed. Before we wrap up today's episode, I want to give the floor to Alice. Is there anything you want to address to the
I guess
students?
firstly, I just want to say thank you for having me. It's been a great opportunity to be able to speak to students who are interested in coming to Kiel and sort of get a how great we are out there. I guess so it's really really good. Um, I guess another thing I just wanted to kind of make sure that everyone's aware. Please use our website. The website is great. Our marketing team have worked really hard on that, making sure there's enough information on there for you guys to find out everything you need to know about Kiel, and sort of help you in making that decision on where you want to study and if you want to come and join us at Kiel. Another thing I just want to quickly mention is that, of course, academics and then sort of outcomes is really, really important. But there is another side of university, and that sort of social entertainment side too. So we do have our students union who offer lots of great events for international students and home students to integrate. So you're never going to feel like you're separate here at Kiel, which is really, really nice. They want to make sure that you're making friends. So we've got our students union. For those that want to study postgrad, we have our KPA, which is the Keele Postgraduate Association. They're available similarly to a students' union, specifically for the master's courses. And then we also have the KDA, which is the Keele Doctoral Academy. Again, similar as the KPA, but for those that are studying at the doctoral level. So you'll notice quite a lot of support and opportunities to meet people and to get that. Loads of societies, lots of sports as well. You can play competitively with the university, but also on a social level too. So again, lots of other things to sort of look at and consider when you're deciding where you want to come to university. I'm going to pop a picture up of the campus now because I just want you guys to kind of. I want to finish on that. I think it's a really important thing to look at because it is so beautiful, so green, and is one of the biggest campuses here on in the UK. Um, so yeah, I think it's a showstopper. So I definitely wanted to show you guys.
I believe you. I cannot believe you. The excitement that you're showing for the campus and all the support teams that you have been mentioning, it must have been absolutely marvelous. And students will only realize when they get those things
Absolutely.
in person. Thank you so much, Alice, for joining us today and sharing those valuable insights about Keele University. It has been an enlightening conversation, and we are truly grateful for your time. And to all our listeners, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Study Abroad podcast. We hope you enjoyed exploring the hidden gems and opportunities at Keele University. As always, your feedback is invaluable, so feel free to reach out and let us know your thoughts. And if you have any queries about Keele University in particular, we can arrange a session with Alice with your Q&A. And until next time, stay curious and keep exploring. This is Nafis Alam signing off today. Take care and talk to you soon.